Today, we are going to shrink our perspective down to the absolute foundation of life on Earth. Before there were redwood trees, blue whales, or even the simplest jellyfish, there were prokaryotes. For roughly 2 billion years, they were the only inhabitants of our planet. Even today, they remain the most successful, diverse, and resilient organisms in existence. But what exactly is a prokaryotic cell? To understand a prokaryotic cell, it helps to look at the name itself. Derived from the Greek pro, meaning before, and karyon, meaning kernel or nut. It literally translates to before the nucleus. This is the defining characteristic of these organisms. Unlike the eukaryotic cells that make up your body, plants, and fungi, prokaryotic cells do not house their genetic material inside a protected nuclear membrane. They are biological masters of efficiency, packing everything required for life into a single microscopic compartment. The two domains of life. When we talk about prokaryotes, we are actually talking about two massive, distinct branches of the tree of life, bacteria and archaea. For a long time, scientists lumped them together because they look similar under a microscope. However, modern genomic sequencing has revealed that archaea are as different from bacteria as we are. Bacteria are the ones you are likely most familiar with. They are found in the soil, in your yogurt, and on your skin. Archaea, on the other hand, are often extremophiles. They thrive in environments that would be instantly lethal to most other life forms, such as volcanic hydrothermal vents, the crushing depths of the ocean, or the hypersaline waters of the Dead Sea. Despite these differences, both share the fundamental prokaryotic blueprint. Architecture of the prokaryotic cell. Because prokaryotes are unicellular, a single cell must perform every function of life: eating, breathing, moving, and reproducing. To do this, they use a highly specialized structure. Starting from the outside in, most prokaryotes are encased in a cell wall. This isn't just a container. It is a rigid structural layer that protects the cell from mechanical stress and prevents it from bursting due to osmotic pressure. In bacteria, this wall is typically made of a complex sugar protein molecule called Peptidoglycan. Many prokaryotes go a step further and wrap themselves in a sticky capsule, which helps them adhere to surfaces and evade the immune systems of host organisms. Beneath the wall lies the plasma membrane, a lipid bilayer that acts as a sophisticated gatekeeper, controlling which nutrients enter and which waste products exit. In many species, you will also see hair-like appendages. Pili are used for attachment and transferring genetic material, while long, whip-like flagella act as outboard motors, spinning at incredible speeds to propel the cell through liquid environments. The inner workings, simplicity by design. Once you move inside the cell, the contrast between prokaryotes and eukaryotes becomes even more striking. Eukaryotic cells are like sprawling mansions with many specialized rooms, such as the mitochondria for energy or the Golgi apparatus for shipping. Prokaryotic cells are more like a high-efficiency studio apartment where every activity happens in one open space. The cytoplasm. The most critical feature of the cytoplasm is the nucleoid. Since there is no nucleus, the DNA, usually a single circular chromosome, simply bunches up in a central region. This allows the cell to access its genetic instructions very quickly. Many prokaryotes also carry plasmids, which are tiny, independent loops of DNA. Plasmids often contain bonus genes, such as those for antibiotic resistance, which can be swapped between bacteria like trading cards. Scattered throughout the cytoplasm are thousands of ribosomes. These are the protein factories of the cell. While prokaryotic ribosomes are smaller than those found in humans, they perform the same essential task, translating genetic code into the proteins that build and operate the organism. Metabolic wizards. One of the most mind-blowing aspects of prokaryotic life is its metabolic diversity. Humans are quite limited. We breathe oxygen and eat organic carbon. Prokaryotes, however, have mastered almost every chemical reaction imaginable. Some are phototrophs, harvesting energy from sunlight. Others are lithotrophs, literally stone eaters that derive energy from inorganic compounds like iron, sulfur, or ammonia. This metabolic flexibility makes them the primary recyclers of our planet. They fix nitrogen from the air so plants can grow, and they break down dead matter, returning essential nutrients to the ecosystem. Without the silent work of prokaryotes, the entire global food web would collapse within weeks. Reproduction and evolution. Prokaryotes do not engage in complex sexual reproduction. Instead, they reproduce through a process called binary fission. A cell simply duplicates its DNA and splits in two. Under ideal conditions, some bacteria can divide every 20 minutes. This rapid-fire reproduction is why they evolve so quickly. If a random mutation occurs that provides a benefit like the ability to survive a specific drug, that trait can be passed to billions of descendants in a matter of days. This is the biological reality behind the modern challenge of antibiotic resistance. Why they matter to us. We often think of bacteria primarily as germs that cause disease, such as Streptococcus or E. coli. While it is true that some prokaryotes are pathogens, the vast majority are either harmless or essential to our survival. In fact, you are a walking ecosystem. The human microbiome consists of trillions of prokaryotic cells living in your gut, mouth, and on your skin. These microbes help you digest food, produce essential vitamins like B12 and K, and even train your immune system to recognize threats. Current research is even exploring the gut-brain axis, looking at how the prokaryotes in our digestive tract might influence our mood and mental health. Conclusion. Prokaryotic cells prove that complexity isn't a requirement for success. These simple organisms have survived 5 mass extinctions and have colonized every corner of the Earth. From the clouds to kilometers beneath the Earth's crust. They are the chemical engineers of our atmosphere, the guardians of our health, and the ancient ancestors of every living thing you see today. Understanding the prokaryote is not just about studying a cell, it is about studying the very engine of life on Earth.